Hi, today let's talk about swapping out our bulky scrapbooks from the 90s into a sleek new photo book. Today I'm going to show you how I transferred some of my bulky scrapbooks that I made when the kids were young and have transferred them into nice new photo books. This is empty, but it's what I kept, a scrapbook I called Christmas Memories, and it was full and nobody ever looked at it. It was shoved with all of our binders, and I still have a lot of binders, but it has been transformed into this beautiful new thin and attractive photo book, Christmas Memories, and it is simply the scanned scrapbook pages that I had before, but in a nice, much nicer package. One of the main things I've done is switch my scrapbooks, my vacation scrapbooks, over to a vacation journal. This trip to Canada is easy to see. This was the cover. So everything's 8.5 by 11, and I've put them into a square format, 12 by 12, so that there's room for the entire page. And I like keeping the page because it has our handwriting and everything that I had done for the original scrapbook. But then I typed in my journal from the trip, and there's room on the sides to add that. You know, scrapbooks were huge. They were so popular when my kids were young, and I never got very good at it. I didn't make very many, and I kind of wish I had made none, because what I did is I took our pictures and chopped them all up small and glued them all, and now I don't have, you know, the picture, and I did not have the money to buy all the cute stickers, and then it just got way out of control. I think people's scrapbooks are beautiful. Mine are not beautiful. They're big and clunky, and they sit in a cupboard and nobody looks at them. I don't want them on the shelves. Anyway, so when I saw Photobooks, I was hooked. Now I have thousands and thousands of pictures that aren't in any book at all, and the reason I have vacation photo books is they're kind of expensive, but I count them as my souvenir instead of buying something that I'm not going to care about later, like a t-shirt or a mug. I save my souvenir money to justify making a photo book of that vacation later. So, and like I said, I had made scrapbooks before when the kids were young, and now I'm slowly but surely turning them into photo books. And then a very clunky old scrapbook I had. And a good reminder of why we left the 1980s far behind us were these family history journals. And now I put this together for my parents on their 25th wedding anniversary. And what a surprise it was about a year and a half ago to find it at my house, thinking, why do I have my parents' gift that I gave them? And they did not miss it. So I thought, well, I'm going to transfer that into a photo book. And this is just a paperback, a little bit less expensive. It's 8.5 by 11. And the cover, I made crooked so you could see it used to be the big ugly binder. And in this book, here I try to get fancy with a calligraphy pen. I guess I gave them it to my dad on his 75th birthday. I said, here's something I gave you on your 25th anniversary. I didn't make any changes. The card that I'd given him with the book was still there. And in this, I had my grandmother, who was alive at the time, wrote to my parents on their anniversary kind of a history of my mom. And I have her pictures growing up. And then I contacted several of their just really dear friends that they had known over the years, and I had them write letters, as well as myself memories of mom and dad. And what I like about this is I didn't have to retype it. I did not have to transcribe it. I just scanned it. So it's kept the original handwritings of us, their kids, of their friends, and you know, the pictures that I made that day. I just scanned that page. These were done with little clear photo envelopes. I just scanned it. It didn't take any time at all to scan that book. I had done all the work. 19, well before it, on their 25th wedding anniversary, and this was past their 50th. So I had done that work, you know, 25, 35 years, 30 years ago. As my sister wrote, we have her handwriting. It's great. And then we found a family history, a little history that my mother had written as a school assignment in high school of her history. So those were all included. So the original binder was a great gift that they had somehow let get back to my hands. I don't know how. But now it says, and when my parents received it, they just, called me. This is the best. We love this. I have to think they loved it more in a format that they could lay in bed and read to each other at night than when it was in the big, bulky scrapbook that they obviously let get away. Now, my favorite scrapbook that I've turned into a photo book was actually two scrapbooks, two big, bulky scrapbooks that hardly anyone looked at. It is now this sleek paperback book. I call it Experiment Upon the Word. It is a scrapbook of our family home evenings. We used to take pictures and do a little write-up beginning in 1997 till about 2005. And now it's so easy to read and look back. Let me kind of show you what we did just as a family history idea. We would clip art, and computers were kind of new and exciting, and I just had 3 children at the time, and kind of after family home evening the next day, they could kind of help me find the cute clip art we were going to use and format, and we'd take a picture and put it on this side of the page, and then we would type up what we had done that day for family home evening. We also used to keep a journal, and one of the family home evening assignments was to come up with a journal topic. What are we going to write about today? And you can ask a question. Oh, this one just said, what did you learn tonight? Who is your favorite prophet? My favorite thing about General Conference. Write something about George Washington. What are you grateful for? So whatever it was, we'd write. Now, we lost Greg's notebook. It's not with the others. It's gone, and it's heartbreaking. Jackie was a baby, because when I say we write, it meant mom and dad wrote because the children were too young to write, but they would tell us what to say. And so as you go through this book, you find that tradition doesn't last very long. Here it still is in 1997, but pretty soon there's not the journal entries, because really it was mom writing while pregnant or holding the baby, or because dad's out of town all the time. And so that tradition kind of didn't last so long. But the pictures and the write-ups continue. And then as we move along, let's see, let me find a date. Year 2000, we're still going strong. Then pretty soon we were kind of down to this. We would make an agenda page, and then later we'd add the picture that went with it. So we're definitely simplifying as more and more children come. At this point we had 6 kids. And a lot of pages look like this, scribbling on them. We're continuing to have family home evening, but our efforts on the scrapbook aren't as valiant as they were when there were only 3 children. And then it ended. So we're still having family home evening, and some of the results of this from a family history standpoint is I made this book and gave it to the family at Christmas. And my daughter, who's the youngest, number 6, and of course at the end of this book she's still a baby and very young, and she read this cover to cover, and she says, Mom, you guys used to do really good family home evenings. We need to step it up a little. So we did. We stepped up our game a little and are having better family home evenings. The other thing I really like is that it captures the family just as we are. You know, the kids are in their jammies. We're not wearing coordinating outfits and all smiling at the camera. We are what we are that night for home evening. And so it kind of tells a more raw and real story of our family. Now, one thing I want to point out about this book is that I used to get really discouraged and feel kind of like a failure in my family home evening book because of, you know, these last pages and or the journal that we just couldn't keep up their tradition, and we you know, like, oh, I didn't do it, but oh my goodness, look what I have. I have a record of many years of family home evening. And you know, so we scribbled on the page, or even if we didn't have it, we knew that we ate tapioca pudding for a dessert, and Jackie led us through exercise, and Nathan taught us a lesson about the Nauvoo temple, and Natalie told Samuel the Lamanites a scripture story. So even though there's no picture, we capture that. And how much better to have just one or two memories captured than zero. And so it's not a failure at all. It's priceless. I love it. So remember, you're making family history every day. And so anytime you make the effort to capture it, even if it's not perfect, it's not a failure. It's a treasure.